Okay, now that the water is stopped, I can introduce you to the aquaponics facility. Okay, this is the whole thing right here. Excuse the focus. As you can see, it's an old pool, seriously damaged. Might as well use it for some aquaponics. This is the biological filter. It has about 5 or 6 different species of plants, some water lettuce, some local unknowns from the local stream. There's goldfish and guppies in there to control the mosquito population. As you can see, the water's on a timer. The water pump is on a timer. And every about hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe every 3 or 4 hours if it's nighttime, it turns on for 15 minutes and it circulates water and oxygen throughout the pool by virtue of falling water dissolving air into the water itself. Water goes up here. There's a T-junction here, divides into 2. Part of it goes over here, splits into 2 more. That's a long story. And over here it splits into 3 technically. One perpendicular to the water and 2 kind of parallel, but the water will come down at about a 45-degree angle. Maybe it gives better oxygenation, I don't know. Just seemed more interesting. But that's only about, I would say, a third of the water goes into there. About 2/3 of the water goes into this 2-inch pipe over here. And there's 2 openings here. One downward to allow maximum flow, and the other upward to kind of create a little fountain effect if the water pressure is high enough. Spills out into this pool. This is the first physical filter, I like to call it, with these broken clay, ceramic tiles. I feel like it traps some organic matter, maybe some particles, sand, who knows what. Then it spills out onto a waterfall shape, which hopefully you saw in other parts of the video. On this first step here, leading into the shallow area, there's rocks and plants, because some of the water will circulate around that way as it falls down from the waterfall. There's some oceans things in there, even though it's fresh water. And here I've created a small dam, or more of like a filter, a rock filter, with cement cinder blocks stacked with rocks on top, some logs as decorative items and for the birds to perch on. And here it kind of creates a sheltered area that I've created a little opening for, but hopefully this will encourage spawning and mating behavior in fish, and give the young ones a nice little safe place to grow up, hiding among the rocks and whatnot. Then it opens up into the big area. I skim the surface daily a few times because lots of feathers and leaves fall in. I'm considering making a small barrier around the pool area, maybe with cinder blocks, to stop some of the leaves coming in with the wind. What a nice reflection. Yeah, lots of feathers from the birds. There's also a duckweed propagating slowly. Maybe you can see it. It's small little green spots in the water. There's a main population in the biological filter, which will hopefully spill out as the water cascades down into the main pool. And hopefully, if the ducks don't eat it all, the duckweed will cover a large surface, and that'll allow some of the algae to die off, and the water should clear up, because the algae is due to the sunlight hitting the exposed water. Once there's shade, once there's plants covering the water, it should clear up, should look a lot nicer. Of course, with the animals shitting in it all day, that might be a little bit difficult, but you know, you do what you can and try to keep it as nice as you can and see how it turns out. If it becomes really bad, I might consider adding a barrel with some charcoal filters or a sand filter. But right now I don't want to integrate any kind of serious filter like that, because there'll be lots of fish eggs and small animals in the water that might get killed if they encounter a large filter type system and they can't make it back into the main pool. I will be using this water for plants, and entering the dry season, the water collection system will be very useful, because it'll allow me to collect what little rainfall there is that is coming down onto the roof of the house, and it'll go down this pipe and go directly into the pool. I can close a valve over there if the pool is filled up and I don't want any more water, and if it gets too filled up anyway, I can just shut off some valves over here and the water will come out that big tube. I could cut that, make it easier on the pump, but it comes out just fine. That pump is way overpowered, so I try to take it easy on it anyway. Well, that's the aquaponics facility. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to comment. Please don't like, please don't subscribe, I don't care.